everybody, and welcome to Carnival Personnel Sideshow. I'm Jacques.
This is Biff.
I happen to be Joe for now.
And we haven't done a sideshow in a while. Heads up to both Biff and Joe. Plan to do a lot more sideshows going forward. I definitely want to have Professor Cook back on before the midterm elections. He's just way too smart to take our phone calls, but apparently he will. So I'd love to have him back on. Now that I've kind of fallen back into the open mic stand-up world, I've met some people who are like, oh, you have a podcast? Love to do it. So, for no other reason than...
I just want to congratulate the podcast on meeting its Kickstarter stretch goals to fund all of these sideshows that we're going to be doing in the future.
So much fun. But we haven't done a sideshow in a while, but we're doing one this week with a friend of both Biff and mine for a very, very long time. Our friend Woody, known better as Woody Loves Coffee. That's LUV, who... We're going to get into it. Woody's always been a very, very funny guy, but decided about a couple years ago to be really funny on the social media. So without further ado, Woody, say hello to All-Star Tommy.
All-Star Tommy. By the way, I decided to be funny a long time ago, but it took a while. But thank you for the last 3 years, because I've actually had the account for 10.
Wow.
The first 7 years were not that.
So I don't even know where to start. But Woody and I have played hockey with, along with Biff, all under the Godfather, Monsieur Lacroix in Southern California for a very long time. But truly, Woody, you've always been one of the funnier guys I know. And now, at our age, you get onto the TikToks and the socials, and some of your stuff has quote unquote blown up. The kids even like your stuff. Why did one day you just wake up and say, hey, I have all this edit gear. Why don't I start doing After Effects and rope in my neighbor who's an actor and start doing hilarious stuff?
Kind of like what you said. I just figured I'm too old for social media. This is ridiculous. I want less tech. And I was talking to a friend of mine, Angela, and pretty much an exact quote. She said, you are truly one of the most annoying people I know in real life, but I think you'd be really funny on Twitter.
So she hasn't met Jacques yet.
And
Is that
Wow. Whoa. To be fair, she also said that Woody would be good on Twitter. So there's kind of the dividing line. So.
And Woody, so we're gonna go platform by platform. But I think my favorite platform that you've been on Twitter. Tell the world about your one-man vendetta against the fine people over at Earthlink.
Yeah, I got a couple of back in 96, I think it was, when I decided to get on the internet. I didn't want to be on AOL because it wasn't cool. Earthlink was cool for about 3 minutes. And so I got an Earthlink account, and then ended up, I didn't like it. I got rid of it in 48 hours. And when I canceled the account, basically they just refused to cancel my account, and they kept charging me month after month after month after month. And I kept calling them back and saying, I'm not using it. You guys, I finally had to cancel my credit card, and they got about, $200 out of me. They claimed that in order to file an appeal, I had to do it by mail. It was just a huge scam, basically. But I found out they're still around. And I guess they're like, I don't know, they're big in nursing homes or something. So I opened up a fake Earthlink account. But they are still around. They're like right down the road from you, Biff. They're in Pasadena.
Wow.
They've got their corporate offices down there.
Well, so I know where that is, and I can't believe they're not kicked out of it.
And it's in the account's like Earthlink dial up PR or something. What is that account name?
Oh my God! You know what? Hang on, I have to actually look it up.
I didn't realize that Earthlink was also a gym, because that's how you cancel gym memberships. You have to like prove that the gym doesn't exist anymore, or that you don't live near the gym anymore, and that's how, because you're basically signing up for a loan.
Well, the fun thing is, Joe, do you know the company behind Earthlink?
Is it Planet Fitness? I don't know.
It's worse than Planet Fitness. It was
the Trump Association.
Am
I getting warmer?
You might. You're getting close, but this organization might even be worse. This is the Church of Scientology.
Well, I'll be. I think I have.
Good luck quitting the Church of Scientology.
Well, I'll be.
Earthlink is powered by. They're powered by your body feet.
Yeah, right. Oh, you just unplugged the silly thing. No.
It's Earthlink LOL, and they made me actually change my original name, which was just like Earthlink fan, because they said they couldn't tell it was a parody because I kept talking about my lightning dial-up speeds.
Because it's hurting their marketing.
Shut down.
It's like that account is akin to the Death Star PR account on Twitter. It's like, which one of my favorite tweets of all time from the Death Star PR is like, how do you know Alderaan didn't spontaneously combust? You weren't there. But my favorite tweet that Woody has put out under the Earthlink dial-up one is like, okay, guys, which one of you tried to download, TikTok on your computer? You crashed the servers.
This reminds me of the Epcot Center account too.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Epcot Center has like a big fun parody account. But yeah, that's good for you taking down Earthlink.
The fact that you got them to respond to you, that there was a meeting, that a couple people had to talk about it, you get a cease and desist letter. I mean, you made them expend more than the $200 you had given them in billable man hours. So kudos to you, Woody. Take a skate around.
So I think I tried. They probably used up more than their 10 megabytes available on their email accounts on this. They probably had to meet in person.
Which one did you get faster? Which one did you get from Earthlink faster? A physical letter in the mail or an email from Earthlink?
Which took longer to go through.
I found out that they didn't actually accept emails. It was only phone calls and snail mail.
And faxes.
Holy cow.
And I assume it hasn't changed.
Well, I remember when you were telling me about this a while ago when you started the account, you called a woman, you're like, look, I canceled this. And she was like, well, everybody says that. Prove that you called us and canceled it. You're like, how, what?
Yeah. She actually, she said to me, yeah, a lot of people try to do this. And I said, do what? Like, pretend that they're not using your crappy service. I said, check my usage, check my email, check my data. And she said, we don't have the technical ability to monitor accounts.
Oh my God, good Lord.
Told me I had to spend, and then told me I had to spend the money for a postage stamp.
The only accounts we monitor are bank accounts.
Right. Yeah.
Canceling.
Oh man.
They got $200 from me. I'm never getting it back. But
yeah, but that's from 1998 money.
Yeah, that's 1908 money. But you're right, Joe. By today,
yeah, that's like $1,300.
Like
man.
if you had rolled that over into NFTs back then,
right? Like today, that's $1,300, and then tomorrow, that's like $1,400.
Right. That's how it works.
Yeah,
that's how they get you. That account is just great. Now let's get back into, you're doing these funny TikToks. You have a tenant or a friend who's also an actor, and just how did you like wake up saying, I'm going to make it look like I'm smushing this guy with a fly swatter and flinging him away? And what are some of the tweets or TikToks that you put out that you've actually got like some pretty great feedback on?
All right. Well, Mike, his name is Mike Rad, R-A-D. And he is maybe the nicest human being I've ever met in my entire life. But he's kind of scary. Like if you didn't know the guy, you'd think he's scary. And he plays that up all the time. So he developed this character as that's basically the worst guy in the neighborhood. You know, walking along, taking his trash, throwing it at the base of the trash can. You know, that kind of thing. Urinating on my house. You know, stuff like that. So we have a green screen and I had a spatula. And I just got this idea about crushing him with a spatula and flinging him into space. So we did, we did about 7 or 8 of those. And I finally had him killing a shark. And then I found out he actually felt really bad about it because he even loves sharks. So we haven't done it in a while because I think he got too in touch with his dark side.
No, and he's a real actor. Like Woody sent me a clip. If I can find it.
He had a huge role in Buffy.
Oh, did he? Well, the clip.
He had an episode of what's that?
No, I was going to say, go ahead. Tell me about the Buffy.
He was on a. Yeah, he was he played like a sarcastic vampire with a heart of gold.
Wait, is he Spike?
Some entire.
Did he have a name? Did
yeah,
he have
I think that's the name.
Was he like a frosted blonde character on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember him. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The commercial that Woody sent me a while ago, he did an off-track betting commercial for like down in Australia with Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hysterical.
Is his name James Marsden? Am I remembering?
No, that's somebody different.
okay.
But I know who you're talking about
right.
too. So what's the highest like view count you've got on one of these, Woody?
Oh, I don't know, like maybe 5,000. I don't really have that many followers on TikTok. I haven't figured out how to crack the algorithm.
You know, I gotta say that's so many zeros, Woody.
It's just
like coming from this podcast, that's a lot of zeros on that.
If I respond to something, I think like 4 is the most responses I've gotten from a tweet that I put out, and one of them is always from there's a show account, my account, and I think like 30. If I get like 30, if I respond to something and I say something funny, I'll reach out to Joe. I'm like, all right, I'm an influencer now. I made it.
If I put out a tweet, I get like a cease and desist. I don't know that's the way it's supposed to work, but whatever.
The Twitter account does a lot. The Twitter account does a lot better. I mean, I've gotten like hundreds of thousands on that.
Wow.
But what happens there is like one celebrity finds you, and it's usually John Cryer for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why. John Cryer thinks I'm funny. And then it just goes out from there. And if you don't get that help from a really big account, you're just kind of tweeting into the wilderness. And I guess it's the same with TikTok, but TikTok's got some insidious algorithm that I cannot figure out. Like you put in, if you put in that you're 60 and you get on TikTok at 4:00 in the morning because you can't sleep, it's going to spend a week giving you. If you put down like you're 20 and you get on there at 2:00 in the afternoon, it's going to send you in some completely different direction. So it takes a long time to train the algorithm. So when I first got on there, I put down that I was 60, and I got inundated with MAGA stuff over and over and over. I had to go back and change my age.
Well, you are white,
the algorithm.
And you are over 40.
I would think that it was like scan your face, see gray hair, and then like send you down like a completely different TikTok.
But to be fair, Woody, unlike Jacques, you don't wear a red cap. So
has Tom Selleck tried to buy your house?
He's not buying your house. You got it all wrong.
Mortgage.
Yeah, you're getting money. I'll explain to you later. Go on, Woody.
Have you had any stalkers or
I'm still learning about.
Have you tried dancing, Woody? Have you tried dancing on TikTok? Because I hear dancing while doing the the ice bucket challenge is really the way to break through the algorithm on the TikTok.
Ice bucket challenge. Look at you.
I was trying to think of something old.
The guy who started that passed away. That's how old it is.
Was the water too cold? Too soon?
I brought this down to a dark place. Let's go back to the happy zone.
You've seen me ice skate, Jacques. You can probably guess how I'd be at dancing. I'm not the most coordinated, so no.
No, that was fun. And have you had any, like, quote unquote, do you have any like fans other than me who like everything that you post?
I have my set of reply guys who, some of them like to fact check everything I say. The beauty of it is that maybe I've got 7 or 8 people on there who I actually know in real life, because it's not like Facebook. I don't want people following me. Like, my nephew found me, and then he told my sister, and I literally had to block my sister because I would tweet something, and then she would say, "What are you doing? Like, you don't have a brother." I'm just making jokes. I'm just making jokes. I had to block myself.
Just putting the pin in the bit, like just deflating it,
Oh, I get it. The guy who plays first base, his last name is who? Okay. All right.
Yeah. Classic
Right.
comedy.
So, Doc, you and Biff are 2 of like maybe like less than 10 people who I actually and I'm not even sure I know you, but
don't meet your heroes, Woody. Don't meet your heroes.
That's the beauty of it. So I've got these people out there who I've got people who now I feel like I know them, and they're just spread out all over the world. There's people like, for some reason, I'm huge in India, like in Mumbai. I have like 500 followers in Mumbai. I have no idea why, but I've had people tell me that if I'm in Mumbai, I have so many places I can stay. So yeah, I don't know who these people are, but I've gotten to know them over the years. It's kind of cool. Like people tell me like, "Oh yeah, I had another baby, or I got a puppy, or whatever," and I'm like, "That's great. I'm not even a real person."
What do you have, like, I don't know if agenda's the right word. Do you have goals? Are you just doing this to do it? Or are you like, hey, it'd be great to get X amount of followers. Hey, it'd be great to put out this much content. Is there any end game, or is there any plan? Or you just, as it goes along, in the middle of the day, you have a funny thought and you put it out there?
What's your angle, mister?
All right. So I am a video editor. I edit for a living. And I have taken over social media accounts for a couple of clients. And, it helps when somebody says, "Hey, do you know what you're doing on social media?" Or we'll be promoting a television show or a product, or pitching a show to Netflix, and they want to know, well, does the subject of whatever you have a social media following? And then I'm like, real quick, I'll get on to TikTok or Twitter, and I'll open up a social media account for them and start pounding it out to get them as many followers as I can before we end up pitching a show. So it's really helped in my industry to say, yeah, I actually know how to do social media. And it's sort of like the intern and me understand social media. And that's about it. There's like nobody else in there, because everybody is 45. They've got no idea how to do it. They're afraid of it. And then I can come in and say, yeah, I can get this guy out there. So, I'm sort of like a ghost host for a couple of other accounts.
So you're just putting in your 10,000 hours for like social media, kind of, it's, you're working out that muscle so that it can pay off in, in other aspects of your.
Well, I mean, it actually, I made some money doing this, because you can get paid for promoting somebody's social media, or it's just part of a whole marketing thing where somebody hires me to cut promos, cut trailers. I'm also putting in hours on their social media. So that's the way the world went. I mean, I'm looking, you guys are doing a podcast.
Yeah, but we're not getting paid for it. People get paid for podcasts? What's happening? What's going on? My mind is blown.
Yeah, but then again, there's no end game. There's no point. Woody has a point. That's
when you tell one of your little stories, when you do one of your little podcasts, try to have a point. It makes it so much more
So so Woody, let's talk about.
Jacques, you never know when when Billy Ray might call you up and say, "Hey, you want to host my podcast,
dude?"
He wouldn't know how. He needs me.
You have no idea how true that is. It's so funny. It is so funny that you say that because I'm dead serious. I know it's a Godfather quote, but this is the Batman honest truth. Every single time I think I'm out, I get pulled back in. And in the 15 plus years I've been working with this ass clown, we're frenemies at best. We're frenemies at best. And it's so fucked up how many big people I know in like the tech world and these other walks of life will call me and say, hey, can you help me with this thing? And I won't bore you guys with it, but as far as Billy Ray goes, I won't hear from him for a year. I mean, he has managers, agents. He's constantly showing up on this show or that show, riding like Miley's coattail. He was riding Miley's coattail for like 4 or 5 years. And then he had that huge, like a gigantic song 2 years ago, that Old Town Road probably was as big as Achy Breaky was when that, and I've been to his ranch in Thompson Station, Tennessee. I've seen what one hit song 20 years ago buys you, and it's fucking jaw dropping.
I bet you he's still paying his Earthlink account to this day.
So I say I'm out. So I think I'm out. It's funny. I went down to Tennessee 2 years ago to do this thing for Armed Forces Entertainment. I didn't even bother to call him, but his brother, who's a really sweet guy, like helped me find some videographers in the town, all this stuff. Haven't heard from him. And then, he'll call me. Oh, I got a new album. Can I get some anthems? This, that, the other thing. He flaked on the NFL, burnt bridges with me. Long story short, I think I'm out, and I haven't heard from him in a while, and I still haven't heard from him. But just the other day, I get a call. Hi, Jacques. I got your number from the Cyrus family. You shot this video with Billy, many years back, and he used Noah as Miley in the video. Do you have that footage? Because Noah is doing a new video. She's on Sony Records and wants to know if she can get that footage from you. It's like, I did this video for Billy Ray, did really well. I got him a 3-hour special on Great American Country, a Thanksgiving special, and we shot a few more videos for him. And one of the videos, it was off his album, I Want to Be Your Joe, and it was kind of a watching you grow up, love-ish song, father to daughter, about Miley as a kid and stuff. And so we used Noah. We spent a whole day shooting these videos. And here it is, like 14 years later, 13 years later, out of the blue, I get a call saying, do you have that footage? So
Woody, are you enjoying Jacques' sideshow right now? Because this is really
well, no, he brought up the Billy Ray thing.
Yeah, that's right.
He was ground zero.
I was a little.
Didn't you come to the video I shot with Billy Ray?
Sideshow to that sideshow is I'm in that video.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And the I Want to Be Your Joe. It's online.
I was the slide guitar player in the video.
Okay, so good. We're bringing it back to Woody.
We're bringing it back to Woody.
But when he first walked back into the room, I thought it was Jennifer Aniston because I was behind him. That man has beautiful hair.
He really does.
And he had like the full Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and I was like, oh my God, no, that's good. But yeah, you remember I was on stage with him, but I kept backing away.
That tiny bar
waving me back.
Yeah, that tiny bar. I think it's on Lincoln Boulevard in Santa Monica that we shot that. And the other guys in the video, it was
the country bar in Santa.
And the rest of the guys in the band, one of the other extras was the A&R rep from the label, our friend Mike Ragonia, who who put the album out. And the other guys in the band were all who worked on the album, like on the label side. They all worked for like Universal. And the sad thing is they all knew they were dropping the album. when we shot the video, when I got the call from them, they're like, hey, the album, it didn't sell enough to show up on SoundScan. You have to sell 10,000 units to show up on SoundScan. And it didn't do that. But they're like, we're contractually obligated to do a video for him. So we have to do this video. And I'm like, okay. And it sucks because everybody knew, dude, no matter what this video does, your album's getting shelved. And then that's how, and then the video came out great. The video came out great. They wouldn't play it on CMT because him and the guy who's head of programming had a falling out 20 years ago. But that's why we got it to number 3 on Great American Country. So that video that you were in got him that Thanksgiving special. But anyways, every time I think about, and now it's like Noah Cyrus as people are calling me. And I'm like, so back to Woody, and outside of the social media world you've blown up, Woody, I've always been amazed that you haven't done other things in the comedy world because you are one of the funnier guys we know. Like when you tell stories about your dad and you tell stories about your drives back and forth to Phoenix with the late great Steve Dolly and stuff like that. You're living in Quaker country for many years. Like you've had an absurd Forrest Gump journey to getting to be the TikTok influencer you are now. Why don't you tell a little people about how you got from point A to point B?
Yeah. I sort of grew up in the middle of nowhere. And when I grew up in a Jersey Shore summer resort. So 9 months of the year, there was just nobody there. And I became a video editor where nobody needs video editors. And I ended up getting a job in central Pennsylvania at a little TV station called WHAG, WHAG. And I also worked
in Hagerstown?
WJAL, which was W Jesus is Lord. Yeah, Hagerstown, America. You know it?
Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah,
I spent a lot of time in Johnstown.
I was literally recruited by the Ku Klux Klan in 1986. When I moved into town, they said, "Hey, brother, I got surrounded." What's that?
I was laughing.
It's a ways from Johnstown. I got surrounded by 5 guys in white sheets approached me to get me to try to join the Klan when I was there.
What'd you say?
Really liked the land, the time forgot, and I thought, well, this is interesting. I've got to be the first Jew that they've approached to join the club.
Hey, we're all circumcised, right, guys?
To be fair, you were sneaking up on them.
I didn't actually reveal that I was Jewish.
That's awesome.
And then I said, all right, if I gotta live here and work here at this little TV station, I'm gonna at least find some place where the Klan can't find me. So I crossed over the Pennsylvania border. I met a Mennonite family.
Wait. Were you the catalyst for the movie Witness? Were you the
town of Lundgrens? And I rented a 100. I ended up moving in on this Mennonite farm and living there for a couple of years, and then working at this TV station, and then just going back to my farm. Did that for quite a while, and just worked on my skills and slowly inched my way across the country until which I've regretted.
It's like you had your own witness protection program, like in this Mennonite family's farm. That's hilarious.
But, I was actually on a little creek called the Conica Jig, and I found out one night listening to the radio, because we couldn't actually get television out on the farm, that the Mansons had broken out Squeaky Fromm like 20 miles away on the same creek. We're like heading upstream, so I had to actually leave and go get a hotel for a couple of days.
Woody, could you remind me?
Everything about living out there wasn't.
Could you remind me who owned the television station that you worked for? I don't think we lost Woody.
No, it's like a 5-second delay.
Was it there somehow? How did you cross? Okay, so you got into the Mennonites. You got into the Klan.
I had some.
The Moonies. How did you cross paths with the Moonies?
Mr. Mooney?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We had to fight. Well, I finally got to Washington, D.C., and we had to farm out some work to a post house called Atlantic Video. And I found out that they were owned by the Moonies. It was actually the Reverend Moon's son was in all the brochures, and I refused to give him any of our money, so I got fired. I actually stood up to the Moonies and got fired. The Scientologists stole my money at Earthlink. So yes, I've been.
The Klan tried to recruit a Jew.
Have you ever thought about joining the Mormons?
The Klan
Maybe they were.
recruited too.
Maybe go to Utah this next time.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, part of growing up without any contacts at all in the industry means you get to move around a little bit and I guess meet some colorful people. So
and just how did
what happened? And then as far as my dad.
Oh yeah, his dad is great. Tell everybody a little bit about your dad.
He's 97. He's a World War II veteran. He is the world's angriest 97-year-old. People ask me how he's still alive. Like, what's your secret? And people will say like, oh, well, I've been smoking cigarettes my whole life or drinking or whatever. My dad, it's just pure rage. He's too angry to let anything get him.
For all the right reasons, I might say. For all the right reasons, your dad's angry.
Oh yeah, no, he went after a cop when he was 95. And fortunately this cop didn't handcuff him, but he did get handcuffed by a cop in his 80s. He's still got quite a temper on him. He's a really sweet man, but he's just got a switch. So I think that's why we're blessed to still have Dad with us.
A true, honest to goodness World War II hero. Yeah. Saw lots of things in the South Pacific. The amazing thing is his dad, and Woody posted pictures a little while ago, fits into the uniform that he got when he was 17. His parents signed, when Pearl Harbor happens, he's one of those 16, 17-year-olds who stepped up and said, yeah, I'm going to go right some wrongs. Sorry, Biff. And here it is 80 years later, still fits in his sailor uniform. And I got to say, looks fucking adorable. Yeah. He absolutely looks
I was just going to mention that, like, if I mentioned a member of my family who's a World War II hero, and this, it's like, well, okay.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know, Biff. We have talked about this, and my dad has literally been attacked by kamikazes. He's talked quite a bit about shooting at them and how they come like out of the sun, and I have apologized to Biff about this.
Well, no, I mean, coincidentally, my dad tried to be one. So
high school when Pearl Harbor got attacked.
Yeah. Well, my dad tried to be a kamikaze pilot, but he did not.
No, really?
Yeah, and he was underage. But at that point, they were taking everybody. But I think basically what happened was that before that he could actually get deployed, the war ended.
I've heard my dad can beat up your dad, but this is weird.
Oh, this is next level bullshit.
Try to be don't even need much flight training. You only need to take off, right?
That's it, pretty much.
Know how to land.
Yeah, I think though, I don't think he was actually headed for it. I think that's what he wanted to do. But like my dad, like is not a very physically coordinated guy, so he never. I think he actually didn't really. I mean, you have to have some coordination, I imagine, to actually fly a plane, directionally somewhere, or something like that. Strangely enough, I don't know the whole story. My younger brother does, so I'll have to ask him the details.
What do you mean down goes up? I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, he couldn't get into the recruiting station because he was pulling on the door that said push for 20 minutes. So Woody, so our paths finally crossed on the ice. How did you have you been a lifelong hockey guy? How did you wind up playing? Which is funny. Everybody's story back in the 90s who I met who wound up playing hockey all met through this guy, Paul. How did your hockey journey take you to Paul Lagua and the inner sanctum of that craziness?
All right. First of all, I grew up on an island surrounded by salt water, and we didn't have an ice rink within 45 miles. But I grew up next to a French-Canadian family, so we used to play hockey in the basement. That got me into playing, but unfortunately, I didn't get on skates until I was like in my 30s, which I think still shows. I ended up living in Ventura, and then I met Ed Schreier, and then Eddie introduced me to Paul, and Paul's like, he's just such a sweet guy. He said, "Yeah, you really are truly awful. We got room for you on our like third line. Do you have $20?"
The prestigious third line, yeah.
That's how I met Paul. He wanted my money.
Well, first of all, yes.
And then I got there. I found out they only had 2 lines.
which I was waiting to see if Joe picked up on that, but yeah, the vaulted third line. But you were a goalie, which is worth their weight in gold, especially like mid 90s back there. I mean, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than showing up for a pickup game of hockey with one goalie. There's maybe me being on your line. Other than that, there's nothing worse. So anybody who you didn't have to be good, you just had to have gear and be willing to stand.
You know what finally got me to stop playing goalie, Jacques, was Bobby Hull Jr. is what got me to stop playing goalie. That guy truly is Happy Gilmore. He had his father and his brother Brett's shot, but absolutely no idea where it was going. And the first time, have you ever played against Bobby Hull Jr.?
That's a scary shot. That is a scary shot.
Yeah, wound up, and everybody, it was like Moses and the Israelites. Everybody just spread out like the Red Sea, and he wound up. And the thing, it literally went 15 feet over my head. And I said, "All right, I'm going to finish this game. I'm never doing this again." And I ended up, getting rid. That was it. It was Bobby Hull Jr. He was Happy Gilmore.
I played against him once, and
I found myself crossing myself in the nets.
Look, you're a brave man. Anybody who puts on the gear and goes out there, especially in pickup, because nobody knows where their shot's going. I mean, I have very limited experience playing goal, and it's not something I would recommend to anybody.
I'm actually more scared of people running into me these days than the shots, because these people don't know what they're doing and they just wipe out.
Biff, have you ever heard the story of Jacques playing?
Okay, so we got to wrap this up. It's time to go. No,
I saw the photos, the photo evidence.
Go ahead, Woody. Tell the story.
So we had a level 4 game, which is, like the only league where they actually let you skate with those sleds with the handles. So it's a really low level of hockey, but we needed a goalie, and I lent Jacques my gear, and he's like, "I don't know how to play goalie," but he got in nets. You had to have a goalie or else we'd forfeit. And we were, it was still the first period. We were maybe 10 minutes into the game, and I hear a commotion behind the net, and Jacques has got a guy on his back, turtling, screaming. Jacques is standing over him with the waffle, and he's just pummeling the guy back and forth. He got into a goalie fight in 10 minutes, and I can't remember. Did they? I don't think they threw you out.
No, and I remember the refs looking at each other like,
well, what? Did you have to apologize?
What are we gonna do? You'd be surprised how little those refs wanted to even talk to me. I think they realized, like, let's let him stay there. Let's hope that nothing else happens.
You're the first goalie I've ever heard giggle during a fight.
I've worked.
It is ironic that a non-goalie comes in, plays net, and ends up, instantly being the psycho. Well, it's bad enough that we have our,
I mean, to be fair, it's a lot easier to fight with all that padding on. You got so much of an advantage on it.
It was nice to it's what you said, Biff. It's like some a-hole ran into me.
like it was a pool noodle.
Man, it's weird I wasn't asked back.
Right. And I've seen you fight with a pool noodle.
Yeah,
so
it's dirty, man. It's it's ugly. Yeah. It is ugly. So you're not playing. Yeah, and the one time I played against Bobby Hull Jr., I did a great job at D. I pinched him off at the blue line. Have the guy completely tied up, flicks his wrist, top corner, and I look at the guy who runs the league. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do there? He goes, well, the best way to deal with him is get here early and find out what color jerseys he's wearing and put on the same one, because that's the only way you can stop that guy. Yeah, his dad slap shot for sure. But yeah, just not as good as his brother from the neck down. Literally as good as his brother from the neck down. But
the man can't skate at all. I mean, he cannot skate. All he could do was shoot. And that was terrifying. But yeah, what I found was that the way that most people played him was just to get out of the way and let him wind up, which is why everybody just scattered.
Well, not just that, but they bailed the zone because the puck's going high and might come around the boards, and then you get the breakaway going the other direction.
There's a great story about Bobby Hull's slap shot where the Bruins were beating Blackhawks senseless, and Bobby Hull scores into an open net, and Jerry Cheevers is standing 20 feet away in the face-off circle. And the defenseman turned to him and was like, what the fuck? He goes, that thing could have hit me. I mean, they're up by a touchdown, and he's like, there's no fucking point in standing in front of He can have 3 more of those if he wants. I ain't getting in front of that bullshit. Wow. So Woody, how can the people find you on the TikToks and the Twitter and the MySpace?
MySpace.
The MySpace. It's Woody Loves Coffee with an LUVS on the TikTok and on the Twitter. That's it. I don't really have an Instagram account. I'm not on the Snappity chat. So yeah, just Twitter and TikTok.
You guys got any last parting shots at Woody, as we'll say?
No, but I think you got one more.
Come on, I'm not afraid.
You'll have one more follower that you kind of know in real life, because I'm gonna follow Woody.
Oh, gosh,
I don't. I'm Twitter is the only real social media that I'm on now. So yeah, I'll give you a follow.
And I'll also post the Earthlink one. That, like I said, there's a couple times like you've posted stuff, and I'm like, that's really fucking funny. Like, more people should see this but then again, you have to be in the weeds. You have to know that Earthlink is awful. First of all, you have to know Earthlink was a thing.
Well, yeah, what Earthlink was. Yeah,
that is. It's nice if you know the background that John Travolta single-handedly funded it through his Scientology money. I'm just making things up. Maybe I'll get a cease and desist letter. Woody,
most people don't even know there's still an Earthlink. I mean, like I said, if you don't run into a nursing home situation,
I got
they're still out there.
I gotta check to make sure that because I know where that building is. It's kind of close to I think Jacques would know this area. There's a Trader Joe's in Hastings Ranch area. It's kind of near there.
Okay. Well, I think we should all check our bank accounts and make sure that we didn't accidentally sign up for that and 40 years ago, and we're still being billed.
Yeah.
Woody, you are.
Biff, I think they share office space with a linen store, like in college.
Yeah, linen store.
I was saying Earthlink is in Pasadena.
No, I mean, like back in the day, they had a building with with their logos and everything, right? That typical stuff. So that's why I know where it is, because they used to have that logo on the side of the building.
I paid for that logo.
Yeah.
Yes, that $200. They really made the most. They rolled it over into Bitcoin 20 years before Bitcoin was the thing. Woody, you are awesome. Thank you so much, Ren, for jumping on. We will bother you to do more stuff like this, because the more other people come on and talk, the less I do. It's a win for everybody.
No, it does. No. It's just more people for you to tell stories to.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Jacques, I really didn't have a chance. You have both of my email addresses and my phone number. So yes, you were contacting me several times a day. This was really the only way to get it to stop.
Yeah, you had to write him a letter and then send it in the mail. I think that's the only way to get Jacques to stop talking.
That's right.
All right, we're done. End on that. That's great.